She's the acclaimed actor and author best known for Blue Heelers, Rake and the 12. Now she's going on a personal journey to unearth a near 200-year-old mystery, her Indigenous past, penning a new book based on the true story of her ancestor, Nanak Aruk, and the Bunurong people. Would you please welcome Tasma Walton? Thank you very much for being here. So this is quite an odyssey for you. So let's go back, 1997. You're filming Blue Heelers, you just won a Logie, and at the same time as all this is happening, you're discovering this heritage.
1997. It was an amazing year, actually. I had this amazing apartment on the Upper Esplanade, just opposite the Palais. I could see in St Kilda, and I could see Port Phillip Bay. It was absolutely stunning. And my nana, who lived in Melbourne in World War II, staying with Nanak Guruk's granddaughter, living in South Melbourne, insisted that she come to live with me for about a month. And in doing so, she had this, what I called her greatest hits and favourites tour. And so she took me to all of these different places that resonated with her when she was a young woman in World War II in Melbourne, and told me stories along with them. And it's you know, as I've become more and more connected and understood those stories more, it revealed this incredible, rich world of women's lore and saltwater country stories. And I've woven all those through the novel.
Tell us more about her, your ancestor.
So Nanak Guruk, so the novel it's a historical fiction. We don't really see the time frame of it because it's all through her perspective. It's a first-person narrative. But what happened in the early 1800s was the sealing and whaling industries went crazy, and all of these sealers flooded to the Southern Ocean shores. And what they were renowned for doing was kidnapping young women and children from saltwater mobs across the whole continent, bottom half of the continent. Nanak Guruk and some of her kin and their kids were abducted from Point Nepean in the on the Mornington Peninsula, taken to the islands off Tasmania, sold in a slave market, and Nanak Guruk ended up all the way over to the islands off the coast of WA. So,
wow.
Yeah.
It's an amazing story.
It is. It's a very intense story, and it's, you know, it's such an important kind of story that just nobody knows about. And the more that I was looking into some of these first-hand accounts and eyewitness accounts, I was going, I didn't know this full story. I didn't know what these kids and these young women were going through, and it's just sort of something that just disappeared. And when it's your ancestor, you do feel, and also having my daughter, I felt a lot of responsibility about, no, this needs to be reclaimed, her identity needs to be reclaimed, the story needs to be told.
How do you go, I don't know how to phrase this, Rove. Let's talk about Rove. How do you go running these ideas past Rove? Or, like, how do you even find time to research and, you know, have kind of, I guess, the thinking time when you live with Rove?
When he's...
And I wouldn't say when you live with Rove. It's pretty serious between you two.
It is serious. Look, he's incredibly supportive. I think the one thing I found, though, he and Ruby both love the wrestling. I would often be taking myself away to try and get some serious writing done and hearing them practising their wrestling moves in the other room while they're watching WWE. So
you can get some work done.
And I was going, that actually sounds like a lot more fun. So honestly, what I needed to do with this story, it was a deep dive. And so I went to a hotel room that had a beautiful view of Warayen, the ocean, and I would write late into the night and then sleep it off. And so for about 3 or 4 days, that's how I did it.
Amazing.
And it was almost like the drive to the hotel was my getting into the space, and the drive back was getting back into home life and the joy of that, which was sucker.
Rove read your first draft.
He did.
And how was that? Because it's very exposing someone reading your writing for the first time, especially if they've got to put their wrestling dollies down.
No, he wore his wrestling belt throughout. Look, what was amazing was that he walked back in, because he did it on the plane trip, one of his, you know, commutes to here, and he walked back in speaking language.
Wow.
He walked back in saying some of the Bunurong language that features in the novel, and I wept. So it was really special. And, he was so supportive and so generous.
Wow, what a review that is. That's amazing. Well, this is the book. It's called I Am Nanak Guruk. and it is out now. In the meantime, would you please thank Tasma?